Hello, everyone. Joe Healy of D1 Baseball here for our inaugural, at least for the season, episode of our Rawlings First Pitch segments with head coaches around the Missouri Valley Conference. And where else would we start but with Evansville head baseball coach Wes Carroll, with his team coming off of obviously a 2024 season to remember. So wanted to start off with a bang with him. So, Coach, first off, I appreciate you making some time for us this afternoon. I understand you guys are coming off the road and had a late arrival last night, but I appreciate you making some time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on and talk Missouri Valley Conference baseball and what we have going on with our Aces baseball program. It's always, I'm very fortunate to be able to, talk about our program in this kind of setting. So thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Happy to have you. When you and I talked during the off season, I think there was an understanding that, there might be some growing pains given some of the veterans that left that had been there for so long after last season. So a couple of one-run losses over the weekend. What kinds of things do you need to see from your team moving forward to maybe flip those results as the season goes on?
Yeah, we got to learn how to win. I think any team early in the season just needs to find a way to win, and that's playing complementary baseball from pitching, defense, and our offense is kind of all working in sync. And finding those ways early in the season will pay dividends throughout the back half of the season, and we just haven't been able to find that way to put it all together and play a complete 9-inning game. We'll show flashes where we've had some good starting pitching or a guy out of the bullpen really perform well, but then our offense kind of goes cold. So it's just about kind of bringing it all together, playing competitive baseball for 27 outs and putting ourselves in a position to win. And, we expect to win here. And for us not to, close out a couple of those games has been unfortunate, but we've got to learn from it. And, college baseball is exciting and anything can kind of happen. And so for us, just kind of getting ourselves in the win column, I think will be key. Just kind of take some pressure off and really just kind of figure out all the different pieces, all the new pieces kind of coming together, and kind of seeing what they can do as we get prepared for Missouri Valley Conference play.
I imagine you had to feel pretty good about what you got on the mound. For Deverman, a good start, Hansman, a good start, Kellen Roberts, multiple appearances and did the job there. So if nothing else, as you move forward, how much confidence do you have in that core on the mound that you're able to build around?
Yeah, they're going to give us a chance each and every weekend, and we're a little banged up with one of our guys, but having Kenton Deverman just healthy, coming off a little tweak in January, for him to be healthy and give us a chance. I thought he was outstanding last week. It was just unfortunate, one of those games where our offense just couldn't kind of provide anything for Kenton, and that's kind of uncharacteristic. Because last year, each and every Kenton Deverman start, I feel like our offense really supplied some runs for him to work with. So having some guys out of pen really stepping up, and Kellen Roberts and Owen Byberg have really thrown well so far for us, but we're going to need some other guys to really step up in some key roles, like every coach is talking about this time of year, just trying to figure out, how the bullpen's going to work out, how, a weekend series is going to kind of unfold with your arms and important spots. And so that's a challenge for us, is just trying to figure out what those pieces are, like everybody else early in the season. But with us losing the amount of innings that we lost last year, it's going to, especially out of the bullpen, it's going to be crucial that some guys step up and get into positions where they can help us win ball games.
No surprise, I would imagine that the guys you look at in the lineup that have made y'all go so far, Ty Rumsey, Harrison Taubert, Cal McGinnis, I have to imagine that part of the puzzle is no surprise for you so far.
Yeah, we have some core pieces, in the top of our lineup, but also we have some, guys that need 75 to 100 bats to kind of really get an idea of what an approach is, what a game plan is, and how to hit different types of pitching. If it's a right-handed, heater at the top, sinker, or a left-handed guy, just being able to have a game plan and execute it. That's what I'm excited for the second half of the season, to kind of see some of these guys that have been injected in the lineup that need those types of at-bats. But yeah, our offense, we've shown some spurts here or there, and then we've gone cold. And so we just got to show some consistency and kind of find our identity as an offense is going to be key.
One of the guys I imagine that needs those at bats is BJ Pert, off to a little bit of a slow start, but the talent undeniable there. What do you think is the key to getting him unlocked and getting him going?
Yeah, he's put a lot of pressure on himself. A guy that needs to step up and is going to have consistent playing time, and I feel like just some swing mechanics are out of whack for him, and he's not real confident. As I believe he's pressing. As any young man with high expectations going into the season gets off to a slow start, they start pressing. We've got to kind of power through that and understand we need to focus on the next 10 at bats. the next 15 at bats. And if that you have that type of approach, you're going to be able to kind of come out of whatever funk that you're in. Such a talented player with a high ceiling, that's going to have some big time performances for us. And I'm just ready for him to show the consistency and what we see at practice and what we saw all fall. It was such a talented offensive weapon, and it's going to be a big lift for our offense whenever he gets hot and gets going.
And one of the other things we talked about in the offseason is, last year's team offensively was one that everybody could leave the yard at any given time. This season, a little bit different with some of the new faces. So you were maybe looking to manufacture runs in a little different way. Have you seen the signs that you need to see that your offense is going to be able to do that?
Yeah, you hit it on the head as far as just that overall 3-run home run, the slugging percentage. I believe the slugging percentage will come along, but we've really got to work on our on-base percentage and understanding just an overall approach at the plate and getting on base, taking your walks whenever they're there, not being selfish and trying to get too big, and then we can kind of build off of that. So we've had a lot of different lineups shuffling around so far, just trying to feel a flow and figure out what kind of identity that we're going to have, and so I feel like we have some great pieces that can do that are versatile and can do a lot of different things. Now it's just about getting on base and being able to apply pressure in those situations. So obviously we need to cut down the strikeouts. I think the strikeouts have been pretty big against us so far, and so just getting that leveled out and us being able to handle a 2-strike approach, but also just being able to do damage early in the count. I think we'll start to see that over the next couple of weeks, and that's a big part of us playing complementary baseball is for our offense to go and give our pitching staff what's needed to go win in winning time.
A couple more things for you before we cut you loose here. You've got a series with Southern Indiana coming up, obviously crosstown rival there. How did the format of the home away portion of that come about for you guys?
Yeah, this was a couple of years ago, and whenever we put together this weekend, we've never played USI on a weekend series, and I think it's just going to be great for our community.
Yeah.
Obviously, weather is going to make a pretty big impact, but just working on a home away, a home weekend, and then we go to their place for a midweek. I think it just makes sense for both of us and the travel and how convenient it is to be able to be at home. I think it was great to work out. Unfortunately, it looks like weather is going to be an issue this weekend, and we're hoping to see what we can put together here over the next 48 hours with an overall game plan.
And then after that, you've got 6 scheduled games against SEC competition in a row. What do you want your team to, other than wins, of course, you'd like to come away in the win column, but other than wins, what do you want your team to get out of those games?
Well, we need to take care of the baseball first and foremost. From a freebie standpoint, on the mound, minimizing walks, hit by pitches, wild pitches, pass balls. But our defense, we need to catch the ball at a better rate. I feel like just what we've been accustomed to over the past couple of years as far as catching the baseball with range, athleticism, and making plays is something that we just have not done a good enough job of so far this year. We look like a northern school. We really do, and that's unfortunate that we weren't ready to go for these first 4 games. And so that's a major emphasis for us. If we're going to have a chance to win baseball games and compete in the Missouri Valley Conference, we need to start taking care of the baseball better. And so pitching and defense is what I want to see, just an overall consistent approach day in and day out. And then offensively, being able to start to identify what our overall true identity is and get some guys comfortable and hot. I think that 6-game stretch against some really talented pitching staffs is going to be a challenge for our offense, but it's going to make us better. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do with this non-conference schedule is to put ourselves in a position to compete in the Missouri Valley Conference. And I think this 6 games that you're talking about is a great opportunity for our offense to really learn, grow, and to search for that identity.
Certainly from a spectator perspective, myself included, going to be excited to see what your team can do in those atmospheres. Should be a heck of a lot of fun. Again, Evansville head baseball coach Wes Carroll, thank you for joining us on the first Rawlings First Pitch segment of the season.
All right, thank you so much for having me.
All right, everyone, stay tuned the rest of the season. I will be here with every Rawlings First Pitch segment. We're interviewing every head coach in the Missouri Valley Conference as we head toward the MVC tournament in May, which will be at Duffy Bass Field in Normal. Looking forward to that, but a lot of baseball to be played until then. We'll talk to y'all next week.